not. First time out in a long time.
Nice.
Okay. I think we're live.
Perfect.
We've got new software today, people, so just bear with me for a couple of minutes while I try and figure it. No, we're not live.
I think we are. I got something on my end showing 16 people watching.
Yeah, we are live, actually.
Okay, I just don't see it on YouTube. Oh, here we go.
I do.
Yep, okay. Very good.
We are.
Wow. Nothing's gone wrong yet, apart from the fact that I can't see the chat. Oh, here we go. Scott D says live AF.
Live as
What does
fuck.
AF mean?
As fuck.
Absolutely fabulous.
Absolutely fabulous. Yep. Welcome along, Scott. You are absolutely fabulous. Okay. Right, here we go. So it seems to be a slight delay. So, yeah, a bit of new software here today, people. So hopefully it all works out. We've got Mr. Gonzo living large. Why are you naked?
Because I'm at a motherfucking pool villa.
Okay. Sounding pretty happy. Oh, very, very nice. Okay, let's drop
And I dropped the
the
phone.
phone. That's a hairy chest you got there.
It's going to be a pretty distracting live
Yeah,
stream.
so anyway, welcome along to the most professional of all crypto channels on a Friday. Bit of a relaxed show, as you know. We've got Mr. Gonzo's music to contend with today.
Oh shit! You can hear that? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe, how about I mute? There we go. There we are.
Good idea.
In which universe are you really?
Financial advice, because you've probably already figured out that don't take any financial advice from the show today, people.
How are you being surprised that the sound is being here? Like that sound is probably so loud.
So now, many of you will already know Baloo if you follow our trading shows. But obviously, he was watching our content and fell in love with the Axie also. So, do you want to quickly introduce yourself, Baloo, for people that maybe don't know you?
Yeah, so I go by Blue the Bear, cryptocurrency trader and investor. Been actively trading since late 2015, early 2016. And I really like technicals. I focus a lot on technical analysis, specializing in the Wyckoff method. But since joining you guys on this channel, really starting to build a backbone in fundamentals, because it's a really good way to just weed out a lot of the crap, a lot of the garbage. You know, when you're in a bear market, it's pretty easy to spot value, because if the chart's going up in a bear market or you have positive technicals in a bear market, usually there's something there. But as the bull market continues, the garbage stacks higher and higher and higher. So you do need to have a strong backbone in fundamentals so that you can gain some clarity. So I enjoy being featured on this show, and I enjoy hanging out with you guys because I learn a lot from you.
Very good. Thank you so much for that. We'll move around the quadrant here. Next, I'm sure you all know him today. He's John Gonzo, looking like some sort of 70s porn star.
Fuck yeah!
Introduce yourself, Mr. John Gonzo, to the people that don't know you.
Johnny motherfucking Gonzo is the name, or Jordan, whatever you guys want to call me. It's all good. Just my buddy here, he's going to Portugal next week, so there's a bit of a lads weekend here. We went to Pattaya, and we're all at the pool, having some fun, having some drinks. We got a keg. Oh shit! Oh, it's gonna be trouble. So this is about the most coherent I'm going to be in the next 72 hours. So you guys are good.
We got in at a good time.
Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Just before it gets incoherent. Yes.
Okay, very good. Very good. And Stefano.
Still in the closet. Still in the closet.
How do you follow that?
I'm not even trying.
Very good. Okay, so listen, as you know, if you have watched this Friday show before, people, it's just a bit of a hangout. We want to help you with any questions you've got on Bitcoin, crypto, blockchain, play to earn. We also obviously know that we've got a number of our Axie community here with us today. We will be giving away some scholarships very shortly. Blue has also immersed himself in that space and is getting some teams together as well. So it's going to be quite a steady stream of teams for you guys. So as we did last week, we want some good questions from you. We're going to be giving away. I've got 3 teams today. I've already decided that one of my teams. I just want to see if this guy's here. I hope he is, because he's literally commenting on everything, sharing all the content. Jonathan, sir, good to see you here. Do appreciate your support.
Didn't you give a team to Jonathan already? How many teams are you giving to Jonathan?
Eh?
Oh, you didn't pick Jonathan. You were saying hi to Jonathan.
It was George.
Hi to Jonathan. It was George.
Oh, it was George. It wasn't Jonathan. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, mathematics in the audience. Jesse, you're more than Jordan looking like a Cuban drug lord. We suspect he might be. Yeah, you're more than welcome to jump on, Jesse. Let me know if I think you're en route to Bangkok as well. So yeah, if you want to jump on and join us, you're more than welcome. So guys, how about we? I think we'll just have a quick look at some news. We'll get into some Axie giveaways shortly, people. Fire at your questions about Bitcoin and crypto at us. Now, Stefano, seeing as you and Mark Cuban seem to always be talking about the same stuff, I'll get you to. So I actually covered it on yesterday's show, but if you don't know, Mark Cuban had basically mentioned that he was the main liquidity provider for a token called Titan, which is from a company called Iron Finance. 24 hours later, they described it as a run on the bank. That token has pretty much gone to zero.
Welcome to crypto, bitch. Welcome to crypto. That's all I got
to say. All right,
we
actually have a heckler on our panel today, so that's good. Okay, well, look, you could take the attitude of welcome to crypto, bitch, and to a certain degree, that is actually the attitude that Mark Cuban has taken. He's, maybe something that Stefano has also mentioned many times. You know, you've got to get in there and try things. Sometimes it is going to go wrong. That is how you... But guys, one of the... Really where I'm going with this is a lot of people have asked me, how do you decide where a good, safe staking situation is, where you should be providing liquidity? What sort of things can you look out for so you're not on the receiving end of a meltdown like Titan? Stefano, any thoughts around that and on this situation specifically?
Well, I think that, first of all, I don't think that Mark is actually going into that direction, considering that he actually mentioned that he wants regulation on stable coins and so on. Doesn't seem like he's taking that too well at the moment. On the other side, it is what it is. It had to happen when you're playing a specific game like this. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. And we mentioned that multiple times. It happens to everybody at least once. If it didn't happen to you before, it means that you're not in the space. There was some videos I think we've done in the past, probably like on summer, where me and Jordan were mentioning how many reg pulls do we actually got in a matter of a week. So it really gets down to be super common, something like that. On the other side, how do you actually define these type of things? How do you avoid those type of situations? Well, number one, if you are in a safe zone, think about for example, IstaDev has just done their airdrop. And basically, they're giving their airdrop to anybody that is using one of the following apps: Aave, Compound, and MakerDAO, which are basically 3 of the oldest app that has been around for quite a long time. I think since 2017 at this point. So that's number one of those three apps. We know that like at this point they're pretty famous. Another one that is probably like super famous is obviously Sushi. But they did have their bad history at the beginning as well. It took them like quite a bit of time to actually like get out of like the dust and regain some, following, I would say from that side. Alpha, which is another project that like many people has like mentioned that is very good, had some issues. Balancer, which I mentioned in the past, was like a very good platform. 1 year ago, they had rug pull in the platform as well. So in general, like you're always ending up to like taking the risk. If you want to go like risk zero, probably like one of the three platforms like Aave, Compound, or MakerDAOs are probably like the only three options that you have. But even in that case, you're still subject to taking smart contracts risk. So if they're getting hacked and so on, at least you don't get like the rug pull aspects on that. But apart from that, it's always high risk in this space. That's for sure.
Yeah, it actually seemed like a rug pull. Was it more a scenario of? I mean, I'm just sort of caught the bit of the news today, but is this potentially a case of Mark Cuban withdrawing, because he was by far the biggest liquidity provider in that pool? He withdrew his funds. And obviously he had announced that he was, people could see it was his wallet in there. He had said, I am that liquidity provider. Did everyone else just freak out when they saw him leave and then pull their liquidity, effectively causing a run on the bank here? Do you think that's what's happened?
That I don't know, but it seems very weird to me that a token would go like from $60 to nothing, just because like a whale takes out the LP that is providing. Like it could actually like destabilize the market. We have reviewed things like that in the past, even like on small pools where, I'm not Mark Cuban, but like there are experiences where like you can remove the LP and jeopardize the value of a token quite a lot. But from that to like completely kill the project, I don't know, it seems a bit like weird. It seems easier to like assume that it's probably like a rug pull from that side.
Yeah. Okay. I've spent a portion of today talking to a friend of ours that runs global head of compliance for a multinational bank. So a lot of our conversation was around the regulation of the crypto space, what the BIS, Bank of International Settlements, are up to at the moment. So I'm going to cover some of the thoughts from that conversation in a moment, but specifically around what Mark Cuban is saying here, regulation needs to be in place in DeFi. Stefano, your thoughts on that first, and then Blue, I'll get your thoughts.
Well, I do believe that, like, as we mentioned many times, regulation is needed to allow the Joe of the situation, or as we call here, the dog of the situation, to be protected. Society works in a way where like we need to make sure the rules are in place to let the slowest person in the group to survive. That's how rules works in general. So do we need a little bit of like regulation in the space? Yes, and we've seen that in 2017 with the ICOs. We have seen like governments now start adopting rules around the ICOs, around the STOs, around like the initial exchange offering, around like what's the definition of a utility token, and so on, and governments are going to keep doing that. We have seen the SEC in the US taking actions, like even with some of the projects that we had on the show, like DMG and so on. Like you don't really like go too much around. On the other side, assuming that they decide to go with the same approach that they have on the banking industry, and so like having that stable coin approach in the sense of like you need the collateral to be matched and so on, I think that the answer is only one, and it's called Tether. Like they are trying to do that, and are they succeeding? Did anybody saw the report that Tether has sent to the judge in New York about like showing their collateral? It's a pie chart. It's literally like, this is our collateral thing. Done. It's one page. They have sent 4 million, or I don't remember how many pages they've sent to actually like claim that they are fully collateral. And then when they had to like have the follow-up report, is only one pie chart. It's not easy. Try to like have something like that with something like DAI, like Ampliforth. Flex is another one. Like, you have all of this new experiment on stable coin that you cannot regulate. It's impossible. And do you need to regulate them? Perhaps, maybe you need to stop the little Joe that doesn't understand anything about blockchain to not enter the market, because you want to protect the little Joe in the situation. Or maybe you have to give the freedom to the little Joe to decide, and maybe little Joe is going to get burned the first time, and the second time is going to think, oh, maybe I should learn something before just throwing money on someone that is telling me that this thing is going to do a 10x or 100x. Either way, they can try to do whatever they want, but you cannot regulate that. It's the same thing when we mentioned, like, they can't take down DeFi. They can't take down a DEX. They cannot do all of these things because it's simply not possible from a technical point. So, it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, something like, and we're obviously about to give some Axie Infinity scholarships away shortly, but how, in your opinion, how do you potentially see sort of regulators looking at that type of model from a regulation point of view?
I think that Axie is going to be a completely different animal. So here's the thing: we always need to define what we have in place. Like heel farming, for example, you put like your stable coin into a DeFi contract and you generate an interest. It's true from a legal stand in some countries, an interest is defined as like you give money to an institution or a company or a business that is actually registered, and they send you some money in return. So there is actually like a sort of invoice or a record that happens over there. In DeFi, for example, if you're staking, this doesn't happen. But the process per se, it's exactly the equivalent of an interest rate, because you're depositing your crypto somewhere and you're generating an yield at the end of the day. It works exactly the same way. But from a legal stand, if you're considering like the definition of an interest rate, that doesn't work. So what it's going to be? Is the government just letting slide on that and not caring about that? Are they actually going to adopt the definition of interest rate and therefore like putting taxation in place on things like that? Scholarship is another perfect example of that. We own an NFT and we're lending that to someone. In specific countries, this is like an activity that is regulated and should be reporting to authority because you should pay taxes for that. In some other countries, this is not a requirement. The SLP that is being earned, is that considered an investment? Is that considered a job? Is that considering like the usage of an activities in the same way that you would do by actually like playing any other game or like doing any other activity, and therefore that could actually be considered an income that you should actually pay taxes for that? Governments are for sure gonna like put a word and an opinion on things like that. As of today, no, we're still very small. Axie is actually like averaging 150,000 users per day. It's enormous in the blockchain sense, but it's a tiny little peanuts in the sphere of like the gaming industry or actually like a global economy. It's too small of a sector as of today. 12 months from now, Axie might actually be in like 10 millions, 5 millions active daily players. At that point, if like out of those 5 millions, like 3 are in Singapore, and Singapore has a total population of 5 million citizens, well, maybe the government would have an interest in actually having an opinion on this. So I think that like more time is going to pass, easier will be for governments to have an opinion on these type of things. As of today, no.
Yeah. So Baloo, you've come to join us in the Axie Infinity metaverse. Welcome. What did you find so appealing about it? What's been your experience so far, and what are you looking to do, sort of short, medium, long term with it?
Well, I think what kind of just drew me in, well, full transparency, what drew me in is the realization that I could breed 2 of these things for, at the time, around $20, and you could sell it for $120. So that was the initial entry into it, with just that interest in creating an NFT that had more value than what it took to create it. And then I started to look into what makes it valuable. What's going on here? There's people are playing it, they're earning SLP, they're breeding, there's using the governance token, and all of these other factors contributing to basically an economy, a fully functioning economy with supply and demand. And it's really, really interesting, and it's almost a perfect application of blockchain technology, or it's an industry that is the most ready for blockchain technology. So, you know, I'm not really a gamer, although recently I've been playing a lot of Axie Infinity, so I guess I am gaming. But that's because I'm interested in the opportunity, and the opportunity is basically a paradigm shift. And you know, that's a word that I try to avoid because it's a topping indicator, but it's a paradigm shift in the way that the gaming industry is structured. You know, we're transitioning from this final sale, you know, this gaming manufacturers offering gaming consoles and games to the end user, and we're transitioning the model of earnings into monetizing the gameplay. And that's not going to go away because there's far more opportunity in monetizing gameplay than there is constantly making new games and consoles. I mean, that's never going to go away, but you're adding another layer to the incentive model and the financial model of the gaming industry. So I'm really, really fascinated, and I'm a tactile learner. I need to get hands-on, and that's what I've been doing. And now I'm playing the game and learning where the value is and understanding what makes a good Axie and what makes a crap Axie, and realizing that half of the ones I made, more than half of the ones I bred, were crap Axies. And now I'm starting to learn how to make good ones and, you know, pair up different cards and thinking about combos. And anyways, moral of the story is I'm really interested in the future of the gaming industry with the application of blockchain being applied to the sector. And I've got teams to give away. So if that's a segue, I don't know.
There you go. Now, on that note, I just want to, I'm actually going to give away one immediately now, or actually two of my teams. They will be with you on Monday, people, because I'm still waiting for a couple of eggs to hatch. But maybe, I see you here in the chat at the moment. Really appreciate your support. See you following all the content, getting involved in the community. So more than a pleasure to get a team to you, sir. So hit me up in the Discord, and I'll arrange that with you and get that to you Monday. Jonathan, you're another guy that I'm constantly seeing in the community, but I'm not sure. Do you already have a team? If you don't, I'd love to give you one. That's Jonathan Ogang. So just let me know in the comments there, Jonathan. Now, Mr. Gonzo, the floor is yours. What's happening in your life? What gems have you got to share with the audience?
What gems? Just
Yeah.
Axie, man.
Just in crypto in general, mate.
Well, I mean, you know, I did the scholarship is ramping up, right? So 96 scholars now, and I just did a full payout to organize the claims to go with like a regular payment for the scholars, right? So I'm trying to do like twice a month, like half the scholars in the middle of the month, and then half the scholars at the end of the month. So I've got that organized now. Finally, I had to pay everybody out this week so that it all lines up. And then next month in July, week, we'll have half the scholars, and then the other half of the scholars the second week. So yeah, I mean, I've you know what I've noticed actually is I did a bunch of upgrades for a couple of scholars 2 weeks ago, and their productivity went up like 50%. So my focus next week is just going to be to improve every scholar that I have with one Axie or another, so that everybody can make 50% more SLP. I mean, it's pretty good, because if you have a medium team, you're making 4 or 5 SLP a game. And if you can bump them up, they can make 8, 9, 10 SLP per match. So, I mean, I got a shit ton of Axies there right now.
So the ability to generate more SLP, what are you actually doing there with your scholars? Is that sort of teaching them more about the actual gameplay, or is it about the selection of the Axies, or?
Yeah, a little bit of both, you know. Like, you give them the new Axie, and then you're like, this is the combo that you want to hit. this is, you know, these two guys work together. Like this guy has this card, this guy has that card. You work them together, and you got a good combo, right?
Okay.
So the meta, it's crazy. Like I feel like it's like genetic warfare right now in Axie, because like there's the PBB, which is like your basic plant bird beast team, right? And that's at a certain meta level. And then all these new teams, they're like complete shit mixes, like not pure at all, but they have good cards and good cards and good cards. And these are the teams that are doing like placing in the top 300, top 400, top 500 of the monthly tournaments. So my goal is to get as many scholars into the top 500 as possible. So I want to improve all the teams that I have. You know, I've put out a forum so that all the scholars, they can just like suggest like, oh, this Axie sucks, I need a new Axie, this Axie is better, blah, 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 whatever. So the forum will be going through next week, and we're just going to like improve everybody's team so that they can earn more SLP for everybody.
Okay, cool. We did a, maybe if you just want to mute yourself there when you're not talking, Mr. Gonzo, but yeah, we did a video the other day on sort of high level on breeding and how to gift share your Axies to breed better. If you haven't seen that, check it out. So to do another video with you in the next couple of days on that gameplay. So yeah, let's if we can schedule that. And Jonathan, I just see you commenting that you don't have a team, so hit me up in Discord, sir, and we'll get that arranged for you. Do appreciate your support. So maybe, and Jonathan, teams on the way for you guys. We've still got a couple more today for you people. So fire your questions at us. Now, Baloo, did you want to? How do you want to do this? We've got some of our. We got Jazzy in the chat here. We could have her help you find some scholars. How many sort of teams are you maybe looking to ramp up to? What are your thoughts around it all?
I mean, I've got 2 ready to go right now, and I'm looking to get 12 probably by the end of the month. Yeah, I don't know if that's too quick. I have no idea. I've not done the back end of this at all. I don't know how the vetting process works, so I'm just saying things at this point. Okay. I've got 2 teams ready. That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, look, for everyone watching, yeah, we're ramping up here. We know there's many of you that want these teams. So, look, maybe sort of midweek we'll start sort of giving your teams out. You can have a chat with some of the community leads to maybe assess that. But look, everyone watching, you know, for me personally, I want to support the people that are supporting the brand, the ones that are sharing the content around, you know, engaging with us. So please keep that up. More to come. So, maybe now we're not a TA show, but should we have what's going on with AXS and SLP?
Well, AXS looks pretty good. Let me go ahead and do a screen share here.
It has jumped all over the place lately, hasn't it?
Yeah. So can you see my screen?
Yep.
There we go. I'll go over to AXS. So I did mention this in previous streams, saying how this area down here is a very important support level for AXS to hold. And we've been trading sideways, which is good. You know, trading sideways is better than trading down. We were in a downtrend, kind of got a bump and run, which is basically just a clearly defined downsloping line of resistance that we broke through. So the structure has been broken. The downsloping structure has been broken, but there's no buy signal yet from an investment standpoint. I do like the demand characteristics of the token itself, because there aren't too many governance tokens that you really kind of need to use a lot. Like you don't need Aave to use Aave. You don't need Compound to use Compound, but you do need AXS to breed Axies. So that I like that in a governance token. What I'm looking for here is we need to break above this range. So currently there's kind of this high right here. I would like to see us break above that high. And then if we could hold support, I think that's going to be enough of a change of character or a change of behavior in the asset for you to consider the trend changing. You can consider a bullish trend beginning to develop. But currently, that's not the case yet. So, TA is not a crystal ball. It doesn't predict the future. Don't let anybody tell you that this is a way for you to predict what's going to happen. It's a way for you to analyze what is happening. And what is happening is we're seeing the early signs of a trend change, but we're not there yet. So, yeah, you kind of just need to wait on this. But the fundamentals are strong. The technicals are neutral, leaning bullish, and we're just going to have to see if the market behaves and the market wants to cooperate with this appreciating in value.
Yeah.
SLP is a really strange chart. And I think that's because not a lot of people are actively trading SLP, and there's a ton of supply on the SLP side. It's a very strange chart. So honestly, there's a squeeze. That's about it. The price is squeezing. So this will have to resolve one way or another. And seeing as how there's more and more active users and there's more adoption and there's a good setup on the governance token, I would imagine that we could begin to tick up. But if this thing pumps, it's going to come back down, because I think SLP is a lot more stable in its true value, just given the consistent supply that is entering into this system. So I think there might be some volatility, and the volatility will result in some sort of squeeze. It's not really kind of a token that I would be looking to trade really or invest in large amounts. It's just kind of something that you need inside of the ecosystem, and it's very disposable. There's a much more of an investment side to the AXS token from what I'm seeing in the charts.
Right.
Stack your SLP to buy AXS when the Ronin Dex comes online. That's what you got to do. Sorry if it was loud.
Say that again, sorry?
Stack your SLP for when the Ronin Dex comes online. And then once that comes online, then you swap your SLP for AXS. And that's what you want to do.
Yeah. And then they're also going to have DAI on there as well, right? On the Ronin Dex. So there's going to be lots of options. That's going to be a really big upgrade, and it's going to make everything a heck of a lot easier, especially now that you can onboard Ethereum straight into the Ronin wallet. That'll kind of complete everything needed to really keep that ecosystem running smoothly. So hopefully they do that soon. But yeah, that's all I got for the charts as far as AXS and SLP.
Very good. Very good.
That it's super close, right, Stefano? It seemed like within days the Ronin Dex will be ready to go. It seemed like the last announcement. What do you think?
I don't think so. Considering that they had all the issues with the server. Do you see what happened in the past week?
It's totally true, But you know what? Those are growing pains that I'm totally fine with, because
the
problems are based on it's growing too fast. No problem. Cool. Let's go.
I agree. Don't take me wrong. I'm not negative on that, but I'm saying that I do believe that actually need to chill a little bit on the new things, on the new features, and on new everything, and really needs to sort it out the server in a very, very rock solid way. And I think that they know that specifically because everybody is on that, removing the daily task ended up being kind of a problem for quite a lot of players. And obviously now they brought them back in. The server was not perfect yesterday. Now today is better. They're there, they're getting there, but I think that they need to focus on this. So I don't see anything new popping up in the next 2 or 3 weeks, to be honest. I think that till the end of the month, we're going to be with what we have right now.
Okay. Let's stay on play to earn here. It's the main topic of today's show. So any updates? You're a community lead in Nine Chronicles, Stefano. I think you had a meeting on Tuesday. Anything to share with us from that project?
So no, because I cannot. But but I can actually say that they are gonna drop a very, very, very huge news in the coming weeks.
You're announcing an announcement, something that you've laughed about.
No,
on the
that's
other-
well. I'm gonna be like the new Justin Sun. Like this is the announcement of the announcement, ladies and gentlemen.
Stefano Sun.
Exactly. I'm gonna start having a token called STE, and then there is gonna be like the SUN, and then there is gonna be like all of the different the ANO and so on. But apart from that, like so Nine Chronicles is going very, very well. Now, one news that obviously like a lot of people were actually waiting for, they reopened the market, which was down because of like problems and so on. They have had a very huge problem with the mining thing. So they basically like released an update where you could have had done like pool of miners. So people could have actually like joined a pool in the POW, and that thing was used in a malicious way so much that it completely destroyed the entire system, and basically like it was not working for a little bit of time. It's still not perfect, let's be honest. It's still like having some issues here and there, but at least the market is back and things are like working a little bit better now. So Nine Chronicles overall, I think, is like getting back on track. And again, the next 2 weeks, they're really going to drop one important things that a lot of people that are in the ecosystem are really going to be happy about. Now that's number one. Number two, if anybody's playing Blankers, Blankers is having 2 new Blankers on the launch today. And they're still having the one that they launched yesterday that is limited to 4,000 in supply, still available as well. So all 3 blankets are still like ongoing. So that's one thing. For Lost Relic, for the people that actually were waiting for the update is there, but daily tasks are not back yet. So they're still waiting for that. So if you're playing Lost Relic, you know, you can still farming once again with like all the new blockchain items that are running like on the engine blockchain, but the daily quests are not there yet. So I'm not really like focusing too much on that. Axie is back on the server. That's we mentioned that. What else? I think that like that's on the Light Knight has announced a new game. That's something that we cover like on Twitch, and basically like it's a survival, like where you're like on an island and you need to like find materials like wood and fruits and stuff like that. Like I don't know if any of you has ever played Raft, where you're trying like to survive, and this is the same thing where you can win like satoshis as well. On top of that, you can pre-order that. It's available. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I would say that like right now what we have is a lot of issues, which is a good thing because they're all issues based on like projects developing and improving and growing in, you know, new features, listening to the community, trying to actually develop things that are actually like pretty good. Blankers had a presentation on Monday at the E3. Like, you know, think about this just for a second. Like a couple of years ago, that was totally impossible as a story. So, hello, Jordan friend, by the way. We can't hear you, Jordan.
That's
This is
Satoshi
Matt.
Nakamoto, by the way. That's just
Exactly. This is Satoshi. This is Matt. He works at Gameloft. We've been working together, developing some crypto shit. But we're working hard right now, so we're gonna have to take a break. Yeah, boys.
Okay, taking the Relax Friday stream to another level there. Brilliant.
Yeah,
Okay.
why not?
Game Loft. Oh, absolutely. That's what today is all about. But look, I'm going to have a little whinge here, community. We are trying. Look, I know you all want a team, etc., but we're really doing our best to bring up your knowledge of the overall blockchain space as well. Help you really get ahead of the game here. So, you know, come on, fire some questions at us. Let us know what you need.
This is for Valasi. If you can actually like ask, I would love to interview Cliff, to be honest. For all the other people in the panel that obviously like don't know this, Cliff is the solo developer of Lost Relics. The guy has pulled the entire game alone. Like one person has done everything.
Yeah,
So
Cliff, you
yeah,
the man.
I
You
would
the
love.
man. You the man. You the man.
Nah, Cliff is absolutely. It's probably like one of the most talented developers that there is in the space right now. Because like I'm never seeing anybody, a solo man, band man doing something like that. So that's absolutely incredible. And the game is awesome. So
Okay, yeah, fantastic. Veloci, please hook that up for us. That would be great. Okay, Mr. Gonzo, do you have any teams that you wanted to give away today?
Sure, yeah. I mean, we did the video application last week, right? And I've
Yep.
received, I would say, 7 or 8 applications, which are all pretty, moving and super great. Like, people are like, I really need this. Like, it's unbelievable. Uh, like the opportunity that crypto is giving these people, because, they have like 3, 4 kids and they're employed and like there's medical bills and there's this and that. And it's just crazy what's happening right now. And the crypto is giving these people a chance to make a stable income, right? Playing fucking games. Like, I'm just playing some fucking games and I'm like going to make more money than my neighbor. Like what the fuck? That's crazy. That's some crazy shit that's happening right now. So, I'm trying to help out as many people here as we can. I'm not exactly.
I've
at my
seen some of
normal.
those videos, and they're awesome. So please keep those coming, people. So I guess basically what you're saying there is the ones that have sent those in, you've got to you want to directly give them to them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna pick. I would say probably 2, maybe 3. Like I have about 9 teams right now that are ready to go, but I haven't. Like there was that whole ban thing that happened a couple of weeks ago, and it kind of like I'm like pulling back a little bit. I'm a bit apprehensive about just like bringing anybody and everybody in, but it's cool with the video applications. Like you can see the people and what they're doing and all the fun that they're having, and like the need. It's like I need to play a video game to make a wage. Like what the fuck, man? We're
Yep.
entering a new space right now. Like this is totally insane. It's totally crazy. Like here I am, just having fun with my buds, and like I can help these people out just by like, hey, you can place them on fucking NFTs. Like what the fuck? This is crazy time right now. So it's super fun and it's super great, and I'm super excited.
I'm very happy to see you having such a nice time, Mr. Gonzo, because I know you've been stuck in Bangkok with in a high-rise building with everything shut. So good on you, mate. You enjoy yourself.
Can you see this thing? Can you see this thing? I'm drinking lots of Sing. Good times. Good times.
You deserve it, fella. Get stuck in, have a great time. Yeah. So okay. So look, we've got. We're looking to actually make some content for Axie at the moment, and we've got our own little documentary underway as well. So we do, we really do appreciate you guys sending in content for us as well. And if you're happy for us to actually use some of your footage, that would be even better. And we'll certainly make it worth your while. So bear that in mind, and please keep those videos coming. We love receiving them, and we love hearing from you all. So Baloo has got a couple of things.
Hey, Stefano. Sorry.
Okay,
Stefano,
what
about all those gifts and emojis and stuff that everybody's making in the community? Those are awesome.
yeah, they are.
Are we?
That
Does someone get a team from that or what? Because like those are cool as shit, man. All this content that just looks so fun.
yeah, so those are basically like that's a new competition where we're giving away 9 Chronicles gold. And so because we had 4 members in the community that have upgraded to Nitro on Discord, we now have like a new set of features that we didn't have before. And so we have the option of having like more than 50 emotes. So, we have currently 0. So we should do something about it. And the second thing is that like we can get now an animated icon instead of having like the static HF on the server basically. And so I thought that it would be pretty nice if we can like bring the community into something like that. And so whoever like submit things that then are gonna end up being used will receive 9 Chronicles golds. So everybody gets like 1 tokens for the game. If you're playing, you can use them. If you're not playing, you can cash them out and you get some extra out of that. So why not?
Yeah. Awesome. And now, listen, I also want to give a shout out to Sia, who I hope you're still in the chat here. Look, you're really one of the most amazing active members of the community. I know you've already got a team, so we can't double up there. But if you've got somebody that you think could really benefit from a team, please let me know. I'd love to work with you to get some people you know. And also, I did mention this last week, but we're really looking to involve as many of the community actually in the hard forking brand moving forward here. We're in it for the long haul, people, and we want good people involved with us. We have tokenized this business. It's not a utility token. It's an actual equity in the company. And we will be talking to you privately in the Discord about that in the coming week. So there's some pretty exciting stuff happening. It's Stefano has helped us set up something extremely innovative. I think we're probably one of the first media brands to be doing this the way we're doing it. We want to make a big splash with it, and we want good people along for the ride with us here as effective as owners of what we're doing. So the likes of Sia, Jazzy, etc. People like you that we clearly see hugely involved in this community. You're the sort of people we really want to take it to the next level with. So keep it up. Okay. Anything else? We've got to keep it fairly short and sweet today, people. Stefano, how are you? Your team? You actually give you on your Twitch stream. Are you taking a little hiatus there at the moment, or are you looking to ramp it up? What are your plans?
Well, so right now, because that's the crazy part. Every time that I'm currently going on around an average of 5 new teams every single week, and the community is so active on Twitch that in 24 hours from the breeding, they're always allocated every single time. So I'm always out of teams. I cannot keep up with the community, and I'm very happy with that because even today, for example, I got the message from a father from one of the existing scholars. So it's nice to see that the scholars are bringing in family members, fathers, mothers, kind of all of these people that traditionally would not be in crypto, but they obviously get onboarded because of someone in the family. Apart from that, I'm still unclear. I think that me and Jordan has been talking a lot in private about this because obviously we are the 2 main people for the number of scholarship and everything, and we are thinking about perhaps kind of stopping at 100 teams each. But with the help that is coming up from people like Jazzy and all the other moderators and so on, now the process of keeping up with the management and everything is becoming much easier because, let's be honest, we are not the one doing the job. Jazzy is 100% keeping the scholarship model alive for the R14 community at this point. So it comes down to us really talking private with Jazzy and figuring out how many more teams can she handle, and number 1. Number 2, if we can find someone as good as Jazzy to help out on managing more teams. And so if this can actually happen, then it means that we can keep reinvesting and breeding and growing as much as we can and helping as many people as physically and financially we can do. But obviously, if the community stop helping, then we have to stop as well because physically we cannot do that. So it's one of the things that we mention here. I mention on Twitch every single time as well. It really comes down to this community needs to come together and act as one community. If this happens, and so everybody do their part, then we can grow even more and everybody can get even more benefits. We're not, let's be honest on this, we're not YGG. We didn't close 4 million in funding from a VC. We are putting every single dollar that is being put in these things comes out from our own pocket. The work comes out from people that are helping, the willingness to take a look in the mirror and they're like, yes, I want to help this community from our free time. Like it's a little bit of a different dynamic, and it's a miracle that we're managing this. It's amazing that we're managing to, like, you know, pushing this to the next level every single time. But it's not up to me to actually answer this. It's up to, like, the community. Once again, is the community going to ensure that we're going for the next level or not? We will see.
Well, yeah, there you go. You sort of throwing that out to you all. Obviously, Baloo's looking to ramp up here. We've got Leanne and Jesse also on this channel with us, myself. So let me, you know, Trailblaze. So let us know on the board if you would like to help Seer. Yeah, I definitely want to have a chat with you. Great to see you again here. So, Blue, any sort of questions for these guys? I know it's the first time you've spoken with Stefano. Anything you need clarity on around X and what we're doing?
Yeah, what's the best combo? What's a really strong combination of cards that you like? Because I'm getting into the whole combos thing and trying to, like, find certain Axies with certain parts, and I've come across a few, but I'm just wanting to hear a couple combos.
This is a tough one because, like, me and Jordan are so against each other on this point of view. Like, we're completely different point of view in this. So my strategy is very simple. I like to have a tank, a beast, and a bird. And so I want to have it. Every single one needs to be maxed out on 61. So I want a tank with 61 HP. I want a beast with 61 on morale, and I want a bird with 61 on speed. The entire strategy at that point becomes some, like, the tank needs to have healing generation and kind of like something to, like, gain energy or still energy, and basically, like, it's your barrier on defense, keeping that as much as possible. Palm King is a good one. The carrot is another good one that, like, gives you that energy when the shield breaks and so on. The beast is a pure combo beast, and so you get, like, the let me give you the ivory slab, which is like the Orn that gives you the combo when you combine that with other two cards. You want then the IMP, which is the one that gives you the energy when you have the critical, and so you combine the two together. And then it's pretty good to have, like, a Cottontail on that Axie because it has, like, a 0 on energy requirement, and so you can build that combo on that beast Axie fairly quickly. And then the bird normally you want that with a backdoor because you want to jump the tank, because otherwise you're never going to the end of that. And then from there, like, probably, like, with a feather, because it's the strongest attack card that you can have, and so you can try to build, like, that 3 energy combo, which is backdoor, something, and then feather, and that's allowed you to kill the bird on the other enemy side with a combo of 3. On top of that, a Jinx on the bird is always, like, very, very good because the Jinx will stop the critical from the beast. And so when you're trying to do, like, a combo on the specific Axie, if you have a Jinx, that will completely block the critical, and so also the generation of the extra energy that comes from that combo from the beast. That's normally, like, the setup that I'm trying to have to every single scholar, and also becomes, like, much easier at that point because you have your 3 lines. You know that you need to build and create beasts with 61 morales, so you're considering only breeding Axie that are in 61 on morale. If there is 60, you're not generating a 61. I mean, you can, but it's extremely unlikely. So anything that is not perfect, that doesn't follow that simple line, I just sell it to the market. I don't even bother on checking anymore because I know that doesn't give me what I need. Jordan, and obviously he's going to answer now, but I can tell you that Jordan goes completely 100% on the opposite direction of this. Like, it's really like the yin and the yang on strategy on this.
Sorry, just quickly, Jonathan, you were asking if it was you that I, in fact, gave the team to. Yes, it is. I basically see you on every tweet, every video, getting involved. So, yeah, man. Pleasure to get a team to you. Hit me up on the Discord. That'll be ready for you Monday. Good team too. Okay. All right, people. We've got about, what have we got? 5 minutes left here. Do we have any questions? Do we want to give any more teams away today? We're going to be giving them out during the week as well. So make sure you tune into the other content. But anything else, guys, before we wrap it up today? Mr. JMG, I'll unmute you. No, he's gone. He's back.
I'm here.
Okay, parting thoughts from everybody. Mr. Gonzo, you first.
Well, I just got to say, like, Stefano, how many top 300, 400 scholars did you have in the last season?
I don't even know because I am not up for that. Okay, fair enough. Do you want to put this as a competition for real? Like,
well, maybe we could do that. No, but
I mean,
like, there's no like Axie is crazy how it's evolving, right? Like, there is like, you know, the PBB teams, like the plant beast bird teams, right? Where you have the 61, 61, 61, right? And then now it's like genetic warfare that's happening right now. Like, you have like, it's not about the Axie with the pureness, it's about the cards. Like, you can have an aqua or a beast with like all plant, you know, like it's all fucking mixed up. But those are the teams that are doing better because they have the good cards and it's like it's synergy between the different teams, right? Like the three Axies in the team. It's like you look at the Axie individually and you're like, well, that's a shit Axie. But if you can combine it with a team that complements it, like two other Axies that complement it, it could be like a killer team, you know, like a total meta team. And that's kind of like you said, we're doing different things, and that's totally cool, right? Like the PvP thing, like I'm just exploring, like trying to develop the meta. Like I have my scholars, like, okay, try this out, try that out, try this out, try that out. And now it's off season. Everybody's practicing these different combos that we normally wouldn't try, but you get a good combo with a good Axie and stuff, and it's like, oh, that's a killer team, right? And that's, I mean, it's cool. That's what I love about Axie is that it's not like, it's not stagnant, you know, like it's still developing like every day, every hour, right? Like these Terminator bugs, right? Like those were like the coolest things like 3 months ago. And now everybody figured out how to defeat them. So they stopped, like the Terminator bugs just, they went down in value because they figured out how to beat them, right? So, I mean, it's really fucking cool, you know, like you can think of an idea and then you breed it and then like, you know, 3 weeks later, it's like, whoa, this guy has got like 2,000 MMR or like 1,800 MMR, right? And for everybody, that's great because the SLP output is like doubling and tripling because from 1,200, you get like 5, 6 SLP, and then you get up to like 1,800, 1,900 MMR, and you're making like 8, 9, 10 SLP per win, right? So you're like plus 50% in the output of the scholar, just by like adding 1 or 2 Axies. That's like, you know, this new MMR that's actually just winning, and you can't predict it. It's just kind of like this, like evolution thing that's happening like constantly, fast. So I mean, I'm having fun just talking to the lead scholars, the guys that are doing really well, like Spaghetti and Tim and Hubert and Fernando and Singh and all these other scholars that are doing quite well in the MMR. Just like they're like, oh, I need this. And you hook them up with a new crazy Axie that like you normally wouldn't think that would do well, but they figured out these like little combos and tactics where they're beating most of the other competition. So I'm just going to keep adding Axies to the teams that I have that develop the MMR more so than just like your standard like PvP, right? And they both have their merits, right? But right now it seems like I don't know, it's just crazy times happening. We just got to be adaptable, right?
Yeah, it'd be great to. We'll scrape you off the floor in a couple of days, and we'll make some videos around some of those topics for sure. I certainly need some help on that front as well. But Stefano, fantastic new haircut. People are commenting. That's the level of our Friday streams. Come along to learn about crypto, but all about Mr. Gonzo looking cool by the pool and Stefano's haircut. That's fine by me. It is Friday. Stefano, closing comments.
So yeah, closing comments. There is one in particular. I mentioned like on for the airdrop of Ista DApp, and so that's number one. If you're using like one of those products like Compound or Aave or MakerDAO, you can basically like get some INST tokens, and as well as like if you're migrating your orders. So if you're using those products and you just like plug on top of that Ista DApp, so nothing changed basically, you will be part of the yield farming, the liquidity farming that they are doing. So your experience is exactly the same. You just like on top of receiving the airdrop, you're basically like start accumulating INST token on top of that. So that's number one. Number two, which is super, super cool, if you're into the Wax blockchain, and I know that many of you are because you're playing Alien World, Yoshi Drop is basically like this musician that has airdrop an NFT to kind of a bunch of people. And they're basically like develop what I was looking for in a long time, which is basically like this system where you combine some of these NFTs together, you send that to like an address, and you receive back a new NFT that represent like a membership. And so the cool thing is that like this is a lifetime membership, and that's different tiers and based on like how many tokens you combine and blah blah and so on. But you can have a look into that more. The cool part of that is that you get like these membership things, and they're dropping to you on a monthly a lot of like music NFTs. So it's basically like this community of people that are like making music and songs as well as artists, and they're making like these NFT songs, these NFTs musics, and they're basically airdropping that to people that have like this this membership, this lifetime membership. And I was looking for something like that for a long time. I wanted to have one thing that was basically like allowing you to receive a perpetual royalty coming like in a sort of like new
Sorry,
NFTs.
what was the name of this project?
Yoshi Drop.
Yoshi Drop. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, this is like one of the things that you know, not a lot of people knows about, obviously, but it's pretty cool, to be honest. They've done like the first drop.
Mark Cuban is going to tweet about it in 3 months.
That's it. Stefano's Mark Cuban's mini me, I think, or is it the other way around? I'm not sure.
At this point, yeah, but no, it's a very cool project. I really like that. I hope that it's gonna go. I don't know if it's gonna go far or anything like that, but the idea and the concept, I was looking for that like for a long time. So very happy.
Likewise. Yep, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a perpetual new thing. So like you own one NFT, and every month you receive new NFTs. It's similar like to the reason why me and Jordan got into the Gala node, for example. Yeah. You know, you have that thing, and perpetually comes back something to you every single time. Apart from that, no, nothing else. I'm happy with like the new scholars. Again, I follow completely different strategy, and you know, a lot of my scholars are like dads, moms, people in their 50s and 60s and so on. So my point is way less on like trying to like, you know, scaling up and those type of things, is to ensure that like as many people as possible can buy into the rewards that come from Axie, get those money as fast as possible, as quickly as possible, and then, you know, like potentially either getting their own team or, you know, using those funds to do other things as well, like entering DeFi, entering all of these like airdrop things and so on. Like Axie is cool, don't take me wrong, but I say that multiple times as well. Like, expand the vision. There is like a tsunami of opportunities in the space, especially now as well. And we are all in a good position now because like we're making those like thousands of SLPs every single month. If you're not obliged, and I've wrote that on Discord as well, if you're not forced of cashing out those SLP, if you have to, because this is like a job for you, a wage that allows you to put food on the table, no questions asked. Take the money, eat. Like, there is nothing bad on this. But on the other side, if you have the option of take some of those profits and use them to experiment a little bit, to play in the space, to see what there is around, have a shot in that, because there is always something new coming up, and like you can always do things like that.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, exactly, and I couldn't agree with Stefano more. I mean, the whole point of this community is, obviously we're doing some great stuff with Axie, but we really want to further your knowledge into the other things happening and really help you get ahead here. That's what we're all doing together, people. On that note, Baloo, any sort of final thoughts from yourself?
No, not really. Yeah, I think this is a good conversation. We covered a lot of topics, and I don't have anything to add.
Well, welcome to our Axie community. It's great that you've got some teams together. I think what I'll do is we'll talk with some of the community leads. We'll figure out how to start distributing your teams and how you want to do that. For me, I obviously like to give it to people that I see sort of supporting the content, etc. Along with the likes of Sia, Jazzy, and obviously the boys, we'll figure out the best way to help you get your teams to people that you want to get them to effectively, is where I'm going with that. Now, if you don't know, Baloo and I do a trading show for people that want to talk price, try and figure out where the market's going. How are you looking in the coming week? I know you hold up in a quarantine in Jakarta at the moment. You probably got plenty of time to do a show the next few days, but we'll how are you looking? When can we expect to have you on for a TA show?
We can stick to the Wednesdays like we've been doing.
Can I be on the TNA show?
No.
I want TNA.
Only if you're by the pool. If you're by the pool, you can show the TNA.
Well, Mr. Gonzo, I got to say, I'm so jealous. I absolutely wish I was hanging out by that pool with you at the moment. It's freezing freaking cold where I am, and dark and there. But where are you, and how long are you there for?
I'm in Pattaya for the weekend. We got here like an hour ago, and we're gonna leave Sunday at noon or so. One of my bros, one of my buddies, one of my daughters, the father of my daughter's best friend, they're leaving. They're moving to Portugal. And, this is the last weekend. So the lads, the dudes, we're all here hanging out, having a good time. We bought a lot of wine, a lot of beer, and we're going to have a good time.
You don't say.
Yeah. And maybe some other extracurriculars. So, if you send me a DM in Discord, don't expect to get answered in the next couple days. It's going to take a bit of time.
Okay. Fair enough. And Baloo, so you were in Jakarta in the quarantine there. We wish you well on your Indonesian adventure, and we'll be back here with Baloo on Wednesday live. Coming up this weekend, people, many of you in this Axie community that are with us today probably aren't familiar with Didi, but he's been a regular contributor and good friend of this channel. That we're making some content with him over the weekend. We've also got Vesser, who I think is just an amazing artist in the crypto space, also joining us in the next couple of days. So lots of great content coming up, people. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. And also check out if you're a trader, please do check out Baloo's channel as well. I think he's absolute top of the game there. Strongly recommend the Crypto Jungle to you all. Stefano, you're streaming on Twitch Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. Is that correct?
And Sunday.
And Sundays. So check out that. I'm sure I think pretty much everyone here at the moment is very familiar with that. But if you're not, get along, check them out. Listen, have a wonderful Friday wherever you are in the world, people. I think Mr. Gonzo's Friday is probably going to be hard to beat. Okay, now
so far so good. So far,
yeah,
so good.
absolutely. Look, congratulations to the two new scholars today, Maybe and Jonathan. Real pleasure to support you guys. You've really been supporting the content for a long time. I do appreciate that. And look, many more teams to come, people. They'll come thick and fast over the next week or two. So stay involved, get involved, learn about the amazing stuff happening, not just with Axie, but everything else in the blockchain space. We are here to help. So good luck to everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Cheers now.